Now to local news tonight, and in Youngstown this evening, the City Council passed 2 ordinances to create an industrial park on the east side. It'll force 88-year-old Bertha Tillis to leave her home of 55 years.
No one discussed the plight of Mrs. Tillis during the meeting itself. Her family and friends were not allowed to speak because they did not give the required 1 week's notice. But after the meeting, everyone was talking. With what to do with Bertha Tillis and her house is new at 11.
88-year-old Bertha Tillis walked up the steps of her house on North Lane Avenue, Youngstown's east side, across from the Royal Oaks, where she has lived since 1961. She loves sitting on the porch and watching the traffic roll by. She arrived home after sitting through a Youngstown City Council meeting where, by unanimous vote, Council changed the zoning of her property and the 21 acres around it from residential to industrial, and set aside $375,000 to buy her house and the whole neighborhood to build an industrial park. That means Bertha Tillis must leave her home.
It's her home. It's not just a house.
AUDRY Tillis is Bertha's daughter-in-law and has become the spokesperson for the woman she calls Mother Tillis.
This is the place that she's raised all of her kids at. So they have to consider what that impact is to her, the safety that she has in her environment, where she's at, the people that are around her, her neighbors, everybody that looks out for her.
Mayor John McNally talked with the Tillis family after the meeting. The city has been negotiating with them.
Part of the negotiations will be trying to figure out where we can find another property for her to live. But for us to develop that whole site the way we would like to over time, we really need to own all those properties.
AUDRY Tillis says they've been offered $13,000.
That's not enough to move her out of that space. And she doesn't want to move for one thing, but that's not enough.
Will you go to court if you have to?
Oh, I guess we would, but I think that's down the road.
Also at the meeting was Natarsha Gillum. She lives across the street from Bertha Tillis and says she's been offered $9,000 after being forced by the city to put on a new roof and install new windows.
I think that I should be reimbursed for what I did to that house, and then I will move. Other than that, I mean, I need my money back because it wasn't fair.
Now, I did ask AUDRY Tillis if she and her mother-in-law would fight the city in court, and said she too hopes that it does not come to that. She also plans to address council at its next meeting on October the 5th.